Yeah, let's do this video.
What you gonna do, fat boy? Nothing. Where my glasses were?
Sorry about that. Share screen, share screen. Know what's going on here. Let me see. T-Rex or hips. Let me see. Sorry about that, guys. Women history. History. What for kids? Shh.
Stop taking meeting notes and let ClickUp AI Note Taker do it for you. It allows you to focus on your meetings.
Women's History Month. Do you know that every March, Americans celebrate Women's History Month? For real. Today, we are going to talk about the origins of Women's History Month and why it is so important to celebrate. You have probably heard about famous women in American history like Harriet Tubman and Abigail Adams. But what about Eleanor Dare or Mary Chilton? Eleanor Dare traveled to the Roanoke colony in the year 1587 and most likely gave birth to the first English child born on the North American continent. At age 12, Mary Chilton was so excited to get off the Mayflower that she jumped into the water and waded onto land, making her the first person on the ship to set foot on Plymouth Rock. Neither of these stories were well known until historians discovered the information, which is why knowing women's history is essential. To understand more, let's talk a little bit about world history, with an emphasis on his. For much of the world's history, only males have written and published stories about the past. This is because women were not treated equally to men, nor did they have access to the same opportunities and education. Here is an example. In colonial America, women could not own property or vote in elections. In many places, females were not allowed to go to school, and if they were allowed, they were not often
Can't
taught
believe this is
the
the
same
last
subjects
day
as
of
males.
February. Can't
This is
believe it.
because society at the time believed that women were fundamentally unequal to men, which seems kind of ridiculous when we talk about it today. However, this idea has existed throughout history. and is a product of patriarchy.
Are you actually
Patriarchy
putting
is a
clothes
system
at
of
the high school?
society or government in which
You have
men
been
hold
in your
power
clothes.
and
That's
women
not
are
cool.
largely
You've been here this
excluded.
whole time.
Where men were taught academic skills
What?
like reading, writing,
And they
and
going to take
mathematics,
them over there.
women were taught domestic arts or how to manage a household. These differences in education maintained the power imbalance between men and women up until modern times. And even today, inequities between genders still exist, which is why it is important that we celebrate Women's History Month. It is a way that we can celebrate the contributions of women, not only today, but throughout history. So, how did the celebration of Women's History Month start? Like many historical movements,
Women's History Month video
small
I
groups of
posted on the
people
last
recognized
day
the
of the month.
shortcomings in learning a male-centered history and decided to do something about it
Women's
to
History!
create
Yeah.
change. In March of 1978,
March
a
of
group of educators in
1978.
Santa
That was
Rosa,
like 40
California,
years ago.
thought that more could be done to further the cause of women's equality,
Women's History
bring
Month
awareness
they
to
have
the
in
significant historical
February is
contributions
Black History
that
Month.
women have made over the
March,
years.
you have
They planned
Women's
a
History
Women's
Month.
History Week to correspond with
Wish-
International Women's Day on March 8th.
I could do it like
By 1980, the movement had spread throughout the country and gained the attention of President Jimmy Carter. After meeting with women's groups,
uploaded
historians,
channel.
and the National Women's History Project,
Gotta put out a
which
Women's
is
History
now
Month
called
on
the
my
National
channel.
Women's History Alliance, or
No, it's not even March yet, but
NWHA,
it's my channel. I post
President
whatever
Carter
I like.
proclaimed that the week of March 8th would be National Women's History Week. At the time,
Women's History Month
President
is
Carter
on
said,
March 8th,
too
the same
often,
day as
women
when
were
change
unsung
clocks
and
around.
sometimes their contributions
Change the
went
clock.
unnoticed. But the achievements,
Yeah.
leadership,
As
courage,
International Women's Day on March
strength,
8th.
and love of the women who built America was as vital as that of the men whose names we know so well. Nice, President Carter. 1 year later, Congress joined with the president by passing a resolution declaring the week of March 8th as the official start of Women's History Week. 7 years later, Congress passed a law authorizing the president to proclaim March as Women's History Month. It has been celebrated that way ever since. Since then, the NWHA has selected a yearly theme for the month. And the rest, as they say, is her story. What are some ways that you can celebrate the contributions of women throughout history? Hope you had fun learning with us. Visit us at learnbright.org.
So that's one of
Thousands of
the videos I posted. Women's History Month.
In the United States, March is Women's History Month. It honors women's
March is
contributions in
Women's
all
History
areas of life,
Every
as
March.
scientists, inventors,
Got
artists,
Women's History
politicians,
Month
and
March.
more.
St. Patrick's Day
The
in March.
celebration began in 1978 when the school district of Sonoma, California hosted a week-long recognition of
In
women's
March,
accomplishments
Caesar
throughout
Chavez
history.
Day.
The idea spread, and in 1980,
Makes sense.
President Jimmy Carter proclaimed the week of March 8th National Women's History Week. 6 years later, an organization called the National Women's History Project convinced Congress to dedicate the entire month of March to women's history.
The whole
Each
month is
year,
March.
a special focus
Women's
for the
History.
month is declared by the National Women's History Project. For example, important artists like photographer Dorothea Lange and painter Mary Cassatt have been celebrated. Pioneers such as educator Mary McLeod Bethune, Clara Barton, who founded the Red Cross, Amelia Earhart in aviation, and First Lady Michelle Obama have also been honored. Women's History Month celebrates unsung heroes too.
I
The
wanted to
countless
put this
women who
on my
helped when our country
YouTube
was at war.
channel.
Women who run businesses
Because
and
I know
volunteer in their
everything about
communities,
Some
single
women
mothers who
been in
work and
history.
raise families, and the unknown writers and artists in history whose works were never made public, yet teach historians much about our country's past. Which women in your life would you like to celebrate?
For lesson plans, digital resources, and more teacher support materials, visit pbskidslearningmedia.org.
What is Women's History Month? Women's History Month is an event honoring the contributions of women across history. Designated by presidential proclamation, this month-long event ties in with International Women's Day to recognize the importance of women and celebrate the unsung stories of revolutionary women throughout history. As President Carter wrote in his inaugural proclamation, history has often been told by men, meaning that women's stories have been underrepresented. Women's History Month seeks to redress that
Women's History
balance
Month is
and
all talk about
celebrate
all
the
women in
impact of
movies.
women.
All women has done movies before men
When
did.
is Women's History Month?
Yeah.
Women's History Month has been held in March since the United States Congress
What is
made this
proper
official
women's
in
movie is?
1987.
People say 16 Candles. Yeah.
Women's History Month also lines up with International Women's Day on Wednesday, March 8th. During this month, events and celebrations take place, and speeches commemorate the effect women have had and continue to have on the world.
Women's History Month video I decided to post.
What is
Day
the
before
history
mine.
of Women's History Month?
Why did I post it?
Women's History Month originated as Women's History Day in
Women's History Day in
1978,
1978.
first celebrated in Sonoma County, California. The success of this day led the National Women's History Alliance, in partnership with influential author Gerda Lerner, to campaign for a National Women's History Week. In 1980, President Jimmy Carter officially designated the week of March 8th as Women's History Week. Following further campaigns by organizations such as the National Women's History Project, the United States Congress later declared the entire month of March to be Women's History Month in 1987. The first Women's History Month presidential proclamation followed in March 1988, with annual proclamations by every president since. Celebrating Women's History Month can be an enriching and inspiring experience. One way of celebrating is to research a few of the notable women that have made significant contributions to United States history. For example, Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly a plane across the Atlantic Ocean.
Gotta have it on my channel. Gotta do this stuff.
Alice Coachman, the first Black woman to win an Olympic gold medal.
I have done President's Day videos this month, which is always going to look
Eleanor
back
Roosevelt, diplomat and former First Lady of the United States.
You know what, Terry? Some people are going to remember me
Maya
on YouTube
Angelou,
someday. I
poet,
don't know.
author, and activist.
A lot of people is going to remember me on YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
Susan B. Anthony, civil rights activist and leader of the women's suffrage movement. For more information and resources related to Women's History Month, head to twinkle.com.
Alright. If you like my channel, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more retro content. And I'll see you guys on the next one.